Yesterday was supposed to be Mike McDaniel Day here in Northeast Ohio, and he said thanks, but no thanks. Today was Jesse Minter Day. We were in celebration of Jesse Minter Day, and then it turns out Jesse fooled us all. Mary Kay Cabot saying he's not interviewing after all. We go to the Make It Right, Call Kyle Wright hotline. Here to help us celebrate what was Jesse Minter Day is Chris Rose from the NFL Network. Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Happy Jesse Minter Day to you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens. I mean, got it. Next.
What is like, this is what happens.
I will say this. I love my hometown. I really do. People have got to move on from stuff. Like, I do think Jesse Minter is going to be a head coach. He has a strong connection to Baltimore. I would be surprised if he didn't end up there. I don't know where else it could be. I mean, I don't know. There are other, the Browns have to deal with what has happened with their organization over the last several years. And there are some pretty good jobs with some pretty good quarterbacks that are available right now. So the whole woe is me thing gets tiresome. I can tell you that.
You didn't have your Cincinnati Bearcat sweatshirt on for Jesse Minter Day like I did?
Jeff does, yeah.
Hey, I told him when I did the Chargers-Patriots game, I said, I used to cover your dad at when I first started out in this career at the old Nippert Stadium.
Yeah.
So we had a little joke about that. And I do think he's actually going to be a really good coach. He's a little bit like some of the offensive gurus that we're interviewing and have a real strong interest in that, he's got to learn how to speak in front of an entire room. If you've seen the clip floating around of Mike McDonald, who, of course, worked in Baltimore prior to his now 2-year stint in Seattle, it's pretty awesome on social media. People are like, well, that's what I want. That's what I need. Folks, anything we do at the coaching position is going to be a bit of a crapshoot. And you just have to realize that there is no perfect candidate for this team. Heck, when Sean McVay got hired at age 30, the Rams were like, we think this dude is going to be the next big thing. But you know what? They said it with their fingers crossed.
Sure they did.
They were praying that it was going to be right.
Well, how could you know, Chris? You can't know.
You can't know.
Yeah.
You can't know. So for all of this stuff, I don't like this guy, I like that guy. They're going to try somebody, and we'll see if it works. There's no proven coach that is going to come here and you say, I feel great about it because of his track record. I mean, we all love Jim Schwartz, and I think he did a remarkable job turning around Detroit, but the record is whatever the record is. Todd Monken has never been a head coach at this level. Everybody else, you're kind of going up to the plate, grabbing a bat, and hope you connect with one.
Chris, do you have a favorite? Do you have somebody you'd like to see be the next head coach?
I don't know enough about Nate Fieldhouse. I'm still kind of, the only thing I'm doing is kind of watching interviews and trying to talk to a few people who might know some guys. I know a few people in Jacksonville. I know a few people with the Rams whom I'm not going to bother right now. Because apparently they're still busy.
Yes.
That's the report.
Oh, the league's still going? I missed that.
Yeah, sure is. Got a couple games this week, and I'll let you know how that goes.
Cool. Give me a call on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, whomever it is, I suppose you'd like to see somebody in the offensive tree. I think that would probably be fun. I would have liked Jesse Minter from a kind of a young defensive energy standpoint. We talked about it last week that there were 8 teams left, and 4 of which were defensive coaches. So for all the people who said, well, you need this, you need that, you know what you need? You need a damn good quarterback, really, for the most part, if you're going to make it to this level. You need a first-round quarterback is kind of what you need.
Which, of course, you've pointed out time and time again, and I think you're absolutely right about that. In this situation, and I think Andy feels this way, I think I feel this way, it's starting to feel like Jim Schwartz is going to get this job. Would you think that's the case, or do you think that one of the young offensive coordinators is the guy that they're really focusing on?
I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody in the Browns organization about that. I personally, I think I would like to try to see the offensive side of the ball. And if you want to try and pair Jim Schwartz with them, remember he is still under contract.
Sure.
So for somebody who suggested that I saw on social media yesterday that Kyle Shanahan would be smart to call Jim Schwartz, depending how things go in Cleveland. Well, it's not exactly that easy. Maybe Mike McDaniel can write Kyle Shanahan to try and pull Jim Schwartz out of Cleveland, a 16-point bulletin on how to do that when you're under contract. But I don't know if that would work.
Yeah, when's the last time you did a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Well, can we read into Tommy Reese that the Browns let him out of the contract to go join Kevin down in Atlanta? Can you read into that? Does that make you think, okay, well, they want to hire somebody offensively and that maybe you do keep short? I mean, that was the first thing I thought of this morning. It was like, okay, they're going to let Tommy out of his contract to go coach with Kevin. So what does that mean?
Well, I think you can both like somebody and also realize that there might be something better out there. So I watched the Browns an awful lot over the last 2 years, and the offense was less than appetizing. So if you are going to move on from your offensive-minded head coach, wouldn't you want a fresh start, period, offensively?
You would think so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, it just makes sense. Like, there's a reason that Jim Schwartz has not been released from his contract yet, because the defense has been really good in his 3 years, exceptional in 2023 and again in 2025. So, you can make whatever you want out of that. But I would just say this, that whatever the Browns were doing the last 2 years, and a lot of it is, in my opinion, personnel-driven, meaning we just don't have good enough players. And I understand why Kevin took him down there. I mean, he thinks that he's a bright young mind, somebody that he knows how to work with, and they have a lot of pieces. They have a pretty good offensive line. They've got maybe the best running back in the league. They've got a number one receiver. They can tag a tight end who finally played up to first-round potential. They've got a lot going for them, and they're in a soft division. So, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff for the Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion.
Kevin,
and they play the Buccaneers twice a year.
I heard that. That's kind of crazy.
That could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin in Atlanta, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for him. I really do. I think it's a good spot for him. Like I just mentioned, I think they do have a lot of talent, and really their problem has been since they made their Super Bowl appearance that they have not been able to get to the passer. And this year, I think they were finished third in sacks.
I think it was second, yeah. They were up there.
They had a great year, led by a couple of guys who were first-round picks, one of whom we all laughed at when they traded up with the Rams to go get him. And the whole year we were saying, my God, this is going to end up being a top 10 pick for the Rams. Well, it didn't. The Falcons ended up having the same record as the team that won the division in the NFC South. It's a mid-first rounder, and they would gladly have given up, the first-round pick for the kid they ended up taking out of Tennessee because he had an awesome rookie year.
Different quarterback situation, different track record as of late, but the Bills choose the GM over the coach, and the Browns did the same thing. And Sean McDermott's now available. That's a stunning move, isn't it, based on his regular season success? And then the press conference did nothing in Buffalo but make things a little more strange, I think.
So I wouldn't say that it was like fall out of bed stunning. We actually talked about it. Michael Robinson was filling in for MJD on Saturday. And after the Bills lost, I said, look, go back to Week 18. It felt like Steelers-Ravens, loser leaves town. Happened with Harbaugh. Then a week later, the Steelers lay an egg against the Texans in the wild card round, and Mike Tomlin leaves. Could we see the same with Sean McDermott? And he goes, I don't think so. And Mike Robb actually is very close with the Bills organization. And he said, I don't think so, but if they want to go trade for Mike Tomlin, that's what I would do. And I don't know if that's the ideal case. We haven't even heard Tomlin's name. In fact, Jay Glazer says he thinks that Tomlin's done coaching, period, not just for this year. But look, if your kids want to get into football, make sure they're on the evaluation side instead of the coaching side, because evaluators get multiple bites at the apple. And in some cases, coaches get a year or two and max 3. And if you don't turn it around, it's all on you, no matter how much the team stinks. And Brandon Beane isn't the first guy that's held his job now through, he didn't get a chance to hire Sean McDermott. It was McDermott first, then Beane. So now he's going to play whatever role he will. But that press conference was extremely uncomfortable. And my guess is you could have Keon Coleman for the kicker bag of balls if you want to trade for him.
And I think I would, especially after all the video coming out afterwards about Brandon Beane saying, this is my guy and I'm taking him first pick, second round. Here we go.
You just remember, all that tape lives. It's all, once you say it, once you're mic'd up for something, it is always there, and some internet sleuth is going to find it at some point.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Look, the kid brought some of this on himself. He was a healthy scratch a couple of times, reportedly for missing meetings. You can't do that. It's one thing if you're dropping passes and, you're working your butt off, but if you're missing meetings and stuff, that doesn't fly in the locker room. I remember Deion Dawkins said something. He's like, look, he's got to learn. And I pulled him aside. I said, this is not college. This is grown up. You have men whose livelihoods depend on you. So clean it up. You're a good kid. Clean it up.
And maybe he will. Well, when we chat next week, maybe the Browns will have a coach. We will see. Thank you, Bud. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, Chris.
You got it, boys. Take care.
Chris Rose, NFL Network.